A warm welcome to all our viewers, to our series Natural Medicine today. Especially for older people, we wish that they get through life really stable and without major falls. And how we can achieve something like this through special possibilities, to stabilize the body again, to straighten up again, but also how to optimize certain reaction times again, that's what we will learn today from our movement scientist Karl Müller. I am very happy that he is here today and stay tuned. Hello dear Karl, nice to have you back.
Hello Corina.
Today our topic is really to significantly reduce falls in old age. Above all, older people who are housed in nursing homes notice anyway, that there is a certain movement missing, and if they then fall, then it really does result in a femoral neck fracture, and to regenerate afterwards, it's often a huge agony. And for a large number of staff, it is often a time investment that cannot be guaranteed.
Yes, and very often falls with age trigger that you have to leave your sweet home. If a femoral neck fracture is then announced, it also needs a lot of therapy. Often you can no longer do the household yourself. This is of course very bad for the people affected and a huge burden on the healthcare system. Because the consequential costs of this fall, not just the femoral neck fracture and the therapy, but that there are additional costs for the home afterwards, which is of course also a major burden for the healthcare system.
Now of course I already know from our many interviews that you have really been wearing this special shoe for more than 20 years, where you kind of walk on a trampoline all day long. From the mechanics. If you really say you want to use it preventively, then there is no age limit, is there? I imagine now, somehow some children watch your show and have parents of a certain age. Maybe the father is already walking on the walker or needs a cane. Wouldn't it then make sense to send this shoe to the parents, to say, see that you only walk on them?
Of course it's better if you start earlier, because muscle mass decreases with age. But it's never too late. My mother is 95, thank God she's still alive, and has only worn our shoes for 25 years. She still walks very well and hardly ever falls. And if she has fallen twice in the last 10 years, I think, then thank God nothing happened, because she also has much stronger bones due to the elastic, springy walking, and has stronger cartilage, because that also strengthens the cartilage.
You always have a certain balance that you still keep. Even at that age, of course, more demanding walking, which of course also mobilizes a lot more skills again, to react to. I could imagine that your mother, due to the fact that she walks with these shoes, has a completely different reaction time, or her way of reacting to a stumble is a completely different one.
Yes, the main effect against falling is of course to increase cartilage and bone strength. By the way, I said cartilage, at that moment I meant bones, the prevention and treatment of osteoporosis. Of course, that's not the main effect. The main effect is that you walk barefoot as you walk here. I don't have the video now from walking in the shoe, but it's exactly the same. Exactly as man walks in nature, through this vigorous movement of the feet. The strength of the feet is retained and strength decreases with age. The bounce I have at 70 is still pretty much the same as when I was 40. So because you do this strength training every day, all the time, the power will be maintained. Then mobility, you can also see that the feet move a lot more. Ankle mobility is much, much more important than you think. This means that even in old age you can still sit together on the floor with the grandchildren. Sit in the deep squat, in the Asian squat. This is what constitutes mobility, so the strength, mobility and balancing ability of the feet. And when you have that strength, agility and balancing ability not consciously trained, then it gets lost. Everything is lost together and then the feet look like the skeleton on the right. Where the feet just passively fold down. Because the lower legs, so the shin bones, calf muscles, the foot muscles are simply not trained. The flat, hard floor makes it easy on your feet and pleasantly comfortable. They get spoiled, wither away to retracted feet and then it doesn't take much, then you need some kind of electric cable or something, which is then enough for you to fall. And this ability to balance on one foot gets stuck somewhere, then the balancing ability of the other foot would be needed. Of course you also train them because the soles are soft, elastic and springy. And it is these three factors that keep the muscles, including the ability to react, and reflexes, maintained. And that's what constitutes the risk of falling in old age. Of course, it is also the pelvis. So if you compare this pelvic stiffness of the right skeleton to the mobility of the pelvis on the left, then I don't bring my foot forward at all, then the whole body is. You can also see it in the elbows, because the upper body doesn't swing at all. You have no supply of nutrients at all in the entire upper body area or fluids throughout the spine due to this stiffness. It's already half fallen on the right, if it's bent over like that. It's outside, so of course it's still inside. In terms of stability, but the one on the left, of course, is much more stable. You can also see there is a rotation in the thoracic spine, a reactive arm swing. And of course all this helps to remain flexible in a reactive way, and if there is a surprise effect, then, that also happens with the youngsters, you stumble somewhere or it goes down somewhere where you wouldn't expect it to have a 10 centimeters step or anything.
Then your ankle twists right away because the tendons were so limp, right?
Yes, exactly, because the body tension is also missing. On the left you can see that there is tension there. And this tension doesn't come from anywhere, it comes from the activity of the feet. If you see how in the left skeleton, it's wearing a Kiebenjoya shoe. It rolls very vigorously from back to front, much like the barefoot one of this Maasai man on the left. They roll vigorously, the left skeleton does that too. On the right it is stunted because the foundation below is stunted. The whole person withers away. If you want to compare the two skeletons on the right and left in terms of stability, then you can make these two drawings.
So was die Stabilität anbetrifft, dann kann man so diese beiden Zeichnungen machen.
Left, when the foot has atrophied to the retracted foot, as if the bottle were standing on its neck.
Wie wenn die Flasche auf dem Hals stehen würde.
It doesn't take much for it to fall. And on the right, the feet are the foundation. There's so much dynamism, agility and responsiveness that it will take a lot more for this bottle to fall.
Dass es halt viel mehr braucht, bis diese Flasche fällt.
This run also creates a much better mobility and blood circulation already in the foot. There are also therapists who really do foot reflexology or acupressure points. I can also well imagine that just through these movements, exactly these points in the body always get a connection signal, right?
Exactly. When there is this activity from the foot, the tension of the foot, shin, and calf muscles, when they are tense,
Anspannung der Fuß, Schienbein und Wadenmuskulatur, wenn die angespannt ist,
then the entire neuromyofascial chain remains tense, it remains flexible, the fascia move each other, and of course,
die bleibt beweglich, die Faszien bewegen sich gegenseitig und da bleibt natürlich auch
all the circulation will be activated.
werden halt die ganzen Kreisläufe auch aktiviert.
The fascial fluids, the blood circulation, the lymph circulation, and also the microcirculations in there.
Blutzirkulation, der Lymphkreislauf und auch die Mikrokreisläufe in den
Cells inside, everything stays in motion much better.
besser in Bewegung.
And more responsive, all signals in the body that are sent back and forth so that the body is always balanced. There are many, many more signals running back and forth, which then also leads to better responsiveness.
Da laufen viel mehr Signale hin und her, was dann auch dazu geführt, dass die Reaktionsfähigkeit besser ist.
Great. If I really say now, okay, at a certain age when I'm in pain, maybe I would like to tend to cartilage, tendons, ligaments, muscles, and also the bones and provide support again. In regeneration, it is often claimed that that wouldn't work at all, but I think you have a slightly different opinion on that, don't you? Yes, you also know that it's not just my opinion. Unfortunately, it's the opinion of most doctors that cartilage cannot regenerate, cannot be rebuilt. Meanwhile, they sell cartilage-building products. That's a strange attitude when you do hyaluronic injections and so on for cartilage development or injections in the knees to build up cartilage.
Für den Knorpelaufbau Sachen macht oder Spritzen in die Knie für den Knorpelaufbau und
On the other hand, it is said that cartilage cannot be built up. It was found in 1892 by Dr.
durch Dr. Wolf
Wolf.
festgestellt, dass Knorpel aufgebaut werden.
That not only cartilage but also osteoporosis, the bone can be rebuilt.
Osteoporose, der Knochen wieder aufgebaut werden kann.
Cartilage, bones, these are structures in the body that function biologically in the same way.
Biologisch gleich.
So if cartilage, if osteoporosis can be regenerated, then so can cartilage.
Regeneriert werden kann, dann kann es auch der Knorpel.
And when it says, cartilage is worn out, bone is running on bone, there's nothing more to be done, I of course have a completely different opinion.
Da bin ich natürlich ganz anderer Meinung.
In addition to the fact that the foundation is getting stronger, that, in terms of stability, you are like a bottle which stands on the strong ground, next to it the bone itself is strengthened by precisely this load.
Neben dem wird ja der Knochen selbst gestärkt durch eben diese Belastung.
It is well known that with osteoporosis it is important to take the right vitamins.
Wichtig ist, dass man die richtigen Vitamine einnimmt, die wichtigen
So vitamin C, then calcium, then vitamin K2 and so on.
Calcium, dann Vitamin K2 und so weiter.
I'm not an expert there, but these for sure.
Sicher
But that only makes up the milieu that the cartilage and bones can be nourished.
Dass der Knorpel ernährt werden kann, aber der Knorpel und auch der Knochen.
But then what it really needs, according to Wolff's law, is load, and not a blowing load, where
Und eben nicht schlagende Belastung, wo halt bei jedem
with every step the blows hit in the joints. Not those loads that then hit the knee, but just loads where the foot works like that the knee just springs back.
Belastungen, wo der Fuß so funktioniert, dass das Knie eben zurückfedert.
That body tension, that all the muscles work like a trampoline spring, so that these forces which act on the joints are not harmful, but cartilage building and
die auf die Gelenke wirken, eben nicht schädlich sind, sondern Knorpel aufbauend und Osteoporose
act against osteoporosis, strengthen bones and regenerate cartilage.
Und den Knorpel regenerieren. Und
it all happens in one go, all day long, without additional exercises, without wasting time.
Ohne Zeitaufwand.
A healthy diet would be what you should also do next to it.
Now you really have the opportunity on your website to go through a coaching by clinical pictures. Describe that, please. If someone really says, yes, okay, I might not live near my mother or father now, or I might want to do it myself preventively, that you can even work with it.
So on our website kaibun.com you can choose the language, choose the country. And then you see that first of all, for 20 euros in Germany, for 30 francs in Switzerland, you can rent the shoes. And try if it really works. And you also get a video where you can watch what works with which problems and how, but you can also, without ordering a shoe, go on the website, select your clinical picture or simply enter fall in the search function, and then there are various landing pages where customers also make statements, what they have experienced in terms of falls, in terms of osteoporosis, in terms of cartilage development.
Und dann kommen verschiedene Landing Pages, wo auch Kundinnen und Kunden Aussagen machen, was sie erlebt haben in Bezug auf Stürzen, in Bezug auf Osteoporose, in Bezug auf Knorpelaufbau.
And then you can do something that interests you personally.
Durchführen wollen, was einen persönlich interessiert.
What are the most important factors for you to really implement this fall prevention?
Without wanting to advertise on our own behalf, I wear our elastic springy shoes, shoes with elastic, springy soles for 25 years. It may also be far too easy for many people. It doesn't take much except walking with elastic and springy shoes in everyday life. And if you then want to achieve even more, so become highly mobile again, then you need fascia training, then you need certain stretching exercises, and with knee problems, hip problems, and back problems, you just need different stretching exercises for each problem.
Rückenproblemen braucht es halt unterschiedliche, für alle Probleme unterschiedliche Dehnungsübungen.
That's what you can certainly do in addition. The right stretching exercises and the right fascial therapy methods. You can do a lot of things yourself at home.
What I've done for myself again and again, when I'm in Germany I'll go to such an outdoor workout area where we have all these different stations out there.
In the forest, right?
Yes, exactly. And whenever I put the shoes on, it's just more demanding. And you are challenged a bit more, because you are exercising many more muscles in an exercise, but also have a completely different level of stability afterwards. And the training, you just notice, you concentrate again on different levels, in balance, in the small muscles that interact with each other, just do it again, a completely different level of efficiency.
Yes, the balancing ability is increased because it is more difficult. Then you increase the balancing ability. You'll also become more able to balance on one leg while raising the other leg at head height. Exactly, there are of course possibilities for every performance level. But then you have to train a bit more for it.
Very nice. When it comes to fall prevention, is there another special exercise where you say, well, for someone who is really extremely insecure, already now? A step-by-step story, or do you have maybe a link or something that the viewer can watch again?
Yes, there are also these links, under fall prevention or falls in old age or falls you can find that. I can mention that briefly. If you walk slowly, very slowly, like in slow motion, then you stand on one leg for a long time. And of course that promotes it, it's almost a bit like balancing on a tightrope. And if you then increase the speed, and do it rolling, so you then put pressure on your heel, then at the moment you stand on a heel, roll very slowly on this one leg, while the other leg slowly comes forward, then you put that other legs in front on the heel down, then roll very slowly from behind on the foot to the front.
Dann stellt man das andere Bein vorne auf der Ferse ab, rollt dann ganz langsam von hinten auf dem Fuß nach vorne.
This is of course a sensational exercise to increase the ability to balance against falling.
Gegen das Stürzen noch zu erhöhen.
And depending on how slow or how fast you go, this tightrope walk effect becomes more difficult or easier.
Dieser Seiltanzeffekt schwieriger oder einfacher.
I can then, so to speak, walk on a tightrope in our shoes on the normal floor. It's a bit different because the ground doesn't go left and right. But it's a very, very good way to gain stability.
Great. Thanks a lot. Nice that you were here again today, also for this important topic, simply to be able to avoid many operations. Just such a thigh fracture and whatever else there is in the aftermath with tendon tears and so on. People are burdened, and you really have such an easy option. Thank you and see you soon, dear Karl.
Thank you, Corina.
Dear viewers, I hope you are motivated again to go through the world with a spring and thereby really bringing the bones, tendons, and ligaments back to an optimal origin. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful time and see you soon. Bye.